All right, this is episode 2 of Through the Pipeline. I'm Jeremy Reeves.
I'm Ricky Reeves. Thanks for watching the last one.
We had a good turnout last time. I think it's going good.
Yeah.
So here's episode 2.
So today, what we want to talk about is
Sewers.
this is our podcast.
Padcast.
So we're going to talk about sewers,
Sewers.
drains, plug drains, how they back up, what causes them, and what we can do to rectify problems.
How much of our business do you think is drains?
Drain cleaning? Off the top of my head, I 20%, 30%?
25 to 30.
Yeah, 25, 30% of our business is definitely drain cleaning, preventative maintenance.
We usually got
repairs.
In Ohio, 2 trucks running,
Yeah,
doing drains all day.
just drain cleaning.
And I keep sewer machines on their vans.
Yeah, about the
Cameras.
same. Yep.
I keep equipment to do 1.5, 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch, and 6-inch drains.
Yeah. So same here. We get calls for multiple different drains, commercial drains.
Yep.
A lot of commercial drains, parking lot drains, and a lot of residential drains too.
Driveway drains, too.
A lot of driveway drains in Ohio too.
Yeah. Euclid, they require a driveway drain.
Yep. And in Erie County, not really. The city of Erie, you don't see a lot of outside surface drains other than catch basins and parking lots.
Right.
Which are the big square ones that you drive over.
In Ohio, they have
Or in Erie, they throw you from your driver's seat when you hit them.
potholes.
Yep, potholes. All the potholes we got. Those are our area drains, potholes.
Our driveway drains are like, 12 or 14
Like
inch
14-inch rounds.
clay.
Clay pipe.
Yeah, it's just a section of clay, and then you concrete the bottom and throw the lid on.
Yep. So what causes a common backup in a house? Let's talk about a house.
I mean, so Erie's 4-inch, mainly 4-inch size piping. Ohio's 6-inch, and we still get about the same amount of backups.
Yep.
I don't think a backup. I think a backup is an indication of something else is wrong with the system.
Always. If you're, we've always said
I mean,
this.
6-inch. That's a lot of water.
That's a lot
to
of
be
water.
plugged up.
Yep. And then a 4-inch is
Yeah, this is 4-inch right
small.
here.
So the thing is you really should not ever have a sewer backup in your house.
Unless they threw something down the drain that shouldn't be there.
Exactly. Like, theoretically, your drainage system should never back up.
If it's pitched properly, there's no tree roots in there.
No tree roots. I mean, even if you have a backup during a major rainstorm, that's common. There's definitely another underlying issue.
Or if the city backs up.
Or the city backs up. But if you, honestly, most of our drain cleaning calls are in older neighborhoods, pre-70s, right? Pre-80s,
Yep.
before they started using PVC.
Correct.
Now, if we get a call from a certain area and I look at the address and I get kind of shocked because we don't get drain cleaning calls, and neither does anybody else from a new subdivision.
Well, in the new developments, I've dug drains there because of bellies. They didn't use proper bedding material.
Yeah, right, and there's a problem. But for the most part,
And then it settles after 4 or 5 years, and it's like, the house is out of warranty.
I've had that before too, from the builder, and the plumber,
and we have to bring them the bad news.
But the majority of our calls don't come from newer subdivisions because they got plastic, it's pitched properly.
Right.
And, I mean, things happen, things do settle, but for the most part, it's older homes, and
Erie's got a lot of cast iron.
a lot of cast iron from the house.
Cleveland is all 6-inch clay.
And 5-inch. I was just telling
Cleveland
guys
still
about
requires clay at the street.
that. Good old Cleveland.
Yeah, clay cleanouts.
Clay cleanouts. But a lot of backups cause is they put something down there. Biggest one is tree roots. Getting into joints, tree roots, bellies, and cracked or broken pipes.
I just see so many tree roots.
A lot of rainwater too.
Tree roots are like in separations.
Yeah, we had a lot. This month we had a lot of drain cleaning going on. Also too, I feel like in the springtime we get more like drain cleaning calls because of rainwater too.
Probably.
I think that's a big thing. A lot of storm sewers are backing up. But a lot of people have us come in, and what can we do to unplug a drain? How do we unplug drains?
I mean, we start with the snake, and if that, we have it's a K1500 rigid, it's an 1.25 inch cable. We put the right size head for that drain line. So if you have a 3-inch drain line, we use a 3-inch gutter head, or 4-inch or 6-inch. And after that, we'll recommend a camera to visually inspect the sewer.
Yeah. Anytime you have anybody coming out, though, and unplugging a drain, you really should ask for a scope, a camera. So
Definitely.
because your drain shouldn't be backing up. I mean, and we do that complimentary most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless it's something crazy, you got to pull a toilet or go on a roof.
Right.
Because you shouldn't have a drain back up.
Yeah, my drain cleaning guys keep a camera on their van.
Yeah, and it's not. It's really to find out why did your drain back up. You know. Maybe your kid put a toy down the drain. I've had that.
I mean, as a homeowner, I'd be interested in why is this backing up?
Why do you keep having drain back up? It's not normal.
I just snaked the drain 6 months ago.
Yes, that's common.
And we're like, all right, well, now it's backing up and we have to camera it.
Here's another thing that a lot of people and plumbers don't kind of communicate with is, okay, we go to your house and unplug your drain. We call it the pop and walk, and I hate it. I don't like it. Pop and walk, because there's a good chance the customer's going to call back, because if they have tree roots, there's no way you're getting all them tree roots out in 1 hour. Yeah. It's impossible. Well, I don't care what you say.
We can't really guarantee the sewer.
No, you can't guarantee nothing.
Buckets of tree roots.
Buckets of tree roots, and there's no way of getting them all out in 1 hour. And when they're like, oh, I just call this guy and he comes in for 1 hour, pops it, and hey, I keep calling him every 6 months. Why is that? Well, you got a lot of roots or a lot of separations, but you really should find out why it's doing this.
And to be clear, this is basically on a 3-inch or 4-inch or 6-inch.
Correct.
2-inch, an inch and a half, like your shower drains.
Those are different.
Those are different bear.
Yeah, well, you really can't camera those. No. It's too hard. Like your kitchen sink line, if it's underground.
Slab houses.
Slab houses are tough too, all concrete. But the kitchen sink ones, it's just 9 times out of 10, it's a galvanized line. It's galvanized metal. So then you end up having to saw cut that and replace that when necessary.
The kitchen remodel.
Yeah, you're in a kitchen remodel. A little bit of project.
Fun.
So
we try and do everything we can to get to that point.
Yeah, and also another option for drain cleaning is what's called hydrojetting. Mm-hmm. That's it's a little higher cost than your standard snaking, but when we camera a drain or anybody else, the best method to get tree roots out and things like that is hydrojetting, because what we'll do is put a camera in the drain, stop it where the tree roots are, or cast iron.
I call it the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity, yeah.
The Holy Trinity. Jet, camera, snake.
Jet, camera, snake, right, exactly.
Then we can pretty much guarantee it.
Yeah, we could say, hey, man, you got tree roots.
Yeah.
You're good for whatever, 90 days.
30-day warranty.
But once you get all the tree roots out, it's they don't grow back like overnight, but they will grow back 100%. And you can actually put.
And then how do you fix that, Rick?
Well, a couple options. There's actually a product I like called Rudex.
Yeah.
That we do offer.
Copper sulfate.
Yeah, copper sulfate works, but it's called Rudex.
Isn't that what's in Rudex?
No.
It's different?
It's different.
I mean, I like Rudex because it foams and it gets the entire. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Copper sulfate doesn't. Copper sulfate just like rides the bottom of the pipe.
Right.
It's like a liquid or powder.
Oh, I just always thought it was a foaming copper sulfate.
It's not a foaming cup. The Rudex is the foaming stuff, and what it does, it'll foam around the entire pipe going out, and it's some nasty stuff, but it'll kill roots. So
it's like they don't even call it tree root killer. They call it deterrent?
Deterrent, yeah, and it like slows the growth of them. But the problem is, over time, I had customers that say, hey, I'll have you come out once a year and do this. And, over 5-10 years, those costs add up to a lot of money.
For sure.
But it does.
The inconvenience of having your sewer backed up.
That's the biggest thing there. Your sewer's backed up. You're trying to get ready for work. Your kids are in the bathroom.
You're missing work.
You're missing work.
Yeah.
It's like, there's always a permanent solution for that. And a lot of people are okay with maintenance, but over time, tree roots will eventually just collapse your pipes. They'll just continue to grow and grow and grow. So let's talk about it. What is a solution for tree roots, minor separations?
Sewer liners.
Called sewer liners.
And the technology's been around for how long?
Oh man, since like the 70s.
It was big in Europe, right? Or Germany?
I think Europe is where it was invented. And a guy, I should have read some more stuff, but a guy I had a problem with a pipe under his garage and it was concrete, and he invented it's called sewer lining. So he slid a new pipe inside of an old pipe. And
cut to fit.
To fit.
Every sewer liner is cut to fit to your property.
So what is a sewer liner? Let's start there. It's a product that will solve separations, tree root problems, but it's basically we put a sock inside of a pipe and blow it up.
And the benefit
a new pipe inside of an old pipe.
And it's one solid continuous piece.
Yes.
So no new tree roots can get into the sewer.
Yeah, so this is it right here. The product we use, it's a 2-part system where you have the sock. It's basically like a felt material, and we soak it and soak it with an epoxy resin mix. So the material is super hard when it hardens up and dries.
Oh, yeah, it's like a rock.
I mean, you could. I mean, cutting it is like cutting steel. I compare it to cutting cast iron because it is hard, way harder than PVC, and yeah, it's a great solution. So what we do is we'll measure. We'll first clean the sewer. You got to clean it.
Prep work is big.
Yeah, you have to
be
prep
spotless.
Work it. Spotless. We make sure it's perfectly clean. And then what we do is we measure everything out with our sewer cameras, and then we cut this sock stuff, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll mix up
it's like a felt.
It is like a felt.
It's like a felt with a water or a moisture barrier on the inside.
Yeah, it's almost like a plastic, but it's waterproof material. So we mix up this 2-part epoxy resin, and it's all timed. And
it's go time.
Oh, it's go time.
When you mix that resin?
Yeah, so you have a resin and a hardener, and when you mix these two, it hardens up on time. So
and depending upon how hot and cold it is, the resin itself is.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll put it on ice to buy us some time.
Yeah, and it'll cure in a certain amount of time based on the heat of the epoxy resin. So we cross-reference with charts. So the hotter it is, the quicker it cures. So what we do is we mix this stuff, we put it inside of the liner, and then we run it through what's called a wet out table, and it's a giant like spaghetti machine.
It's just to make it even,
and
make the resin even.
All the resin on the inside of the pipe, so that's evenly spread. Now you got to picture you could have a 100-foot sock, which we do, laying in someone's yard. With this epoxy resin in there, it's go time because it could harden up.
And you do it in the shade. Like you have to really figure out the best spot to wet it out.
It's a lot of experience, and it's like we always say this: it's not a matter if you mess up; it's when. And it really stinks because the amount of cost and the material is. Yeah. This is a very expensive system to lose out on. So if you lose all the material on one, it's thousands and thousands
of dollars.
So then we put the stuff inside of this sock, and then we put it inside this machine called an inversion machine. So it's a giant drum we use, and we reel it up inside of this drum, and then we hook it to the end of the drum, and then we fill it up with compressed air.
Yeah, we pressurize it.
This is called the inversion process. So it's basically taking this lining material and it goes in from inside outside into the sewer pipe. It's actually
it flips it inside out.
So it's like unrolling your sock down your leg.
So the resin is hitting the walls of your sewer pipe.
Yes. Whereas on the inside,
it's that moisture barrier, plastic.
And that's a little sample of it. But the inside's super smooth. But the resin would be on the outside between the sock and the pipe, which this is a PVC pipe, and typically it'd be clay or cast iron. And we can go through plastic pipes. Let's say there's a break in one or something. But they use this technology for a lot of things, not just drains in a house. We've done them at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yep. We've done them. There's people that do them in culvert pipes.
They do them for water
under
lines.
Roads and stuff, water lines. So then after we put this sock in the liner inside your drain, we put in what's called the cow tube. And it's basically, we do the same thing with the inversion process with a giant balloon. So we put a giant balloon inside your pipe. We blow it up with air, make sure it's all good. Then we'll depressurize it, and then we insert hot water from a custom boiler we made to circulate hot water through this liner
for timing. So it's all about.
So if we put it in the ground is roughly 55 degrees.
Right.
Always. The ground temperature is around 55.
So if you just leave it without putting the hot water inside of there, how long will it take to cure?
About 12. I would say 12 to 15 hours.
Whereas if we put hot water in there at 180 degrees. Right?
Yeah, 160, 170. And I like to crank it up the last 10 minutes.
Right.
And just to get it to cure.
How long will it take to cure that liner?
We think about 2 hours.
Yeah. We would start a 2-hour timer.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
We're always feeling the outside to make sure.
And this piece is actually outside of the pipe, so there was more material hanging out of it. And what we do is we check it and we make sure it's hard as a rock before we do anything. So you just let it sit and let it cure, and then you don't have to worry about it.
And it turns out so smooth.
It's so smooth. It's so smooth. The pipe is so smooth inside of the old pipe. It's unbelievable.
It's cool stuff.
It's really cool stuff. And it's like growing up, we weren't doing this. It was always hey, if someone had a sewer problem, you dig it. You got to dig it. And that's the next benefit of this.
Is what?
It's going
to be your landscaping, number one. Smaller access point. A lot of times we do them inside the basement. Right where the pipe exits your home.
Yeah.
We'll cut a 3x4 square of concrete and gain our access point. And then we'll shoot them from the inside of the basement. And the another good benefit is you can go all the way to the tap in the road.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not even getting into those expenses.
Yep. You go into a road? How much?
$10,000.
$10,000. I don't care.
You got to fix that road. That's the problem.
Yeah, you got to fix
special
the road.
permits.
You got to go to
inspections.
engineering. Special inspections. You got road inspections. I mean, you can't just backfill a road and walk away. It doesn't work like that.
No.
I would say.
But landscaping, I mean, that's. You could spend
thousands and thousands of dollars on landscaping. We had, but after we do the liner, the cowl tube, and all that, we connect your pipe up, and in one day you have a new sewer.
Yeah,
and it takes, I would say, on an average 2 to 3 day process.
Yep, from time you start cleaning.
Start to finish. So you're not without a sewer, but it takes a couple days for prep work, setting up. There's a lot of moving parts, and once. The craziest part is when we get that resin going, because then everybody's running.
Yeah,
but if it's hot out, you are running to get this thing in the ground.
So it takes 3 days to do a liner.
Yep.
The warranty on these are 50 years from the manufacturer.
Some manufacturers will give you a 100-year warranty.
I know, because it's not going anywhere.
It's really not going anywhere. And, and a lot of people will say, well, I don't know, but I mean, there's liners out there from the 70s.
Or like I get a lot of other plumbers that don't do lining will be like, it restricts the flow. I mean, we're talking that's
it's it's 3 millimeters is what it is.
Nothing.
I think 3M. Yeah, right. 3M.
Yeah,
it's nothing. Trust me. It's when the benefits outweigh the whole side of digging and the concrete. And I did a house. I say 2 of them was probably one of the best ones that people saved money. They're going to save money by doing this.
For sure.
Versus digging. You always save
so
much money. I had a customer down on South Shore, and their sewer was 225 feet long. Mm-hmm. That's far.
Yeah.
That's like really far. We don't blow them that far. About 100, 120 feet's the most.
Yeah.
And this guy's landscaping was beautiful. I mean, it was like...
Oh, it would have been thousands to put it back. It's like
unbelievable. So
it's a no-brainer when you're as a homeowner.
We were able to dig a 5 foot by 5 foot hole right in the middle of his yard between like these beautiful bushes. He didn't even see it. Mm-hmm. And we brought plywood in with the backhoe, dug it out, and we blew the liner both ways. One towards his house, one towards the road.
When did you do this? This isn't the one you were just talking about.
Like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But we put all the dirt back. I swear, it looked like a little funeral spot. Like you wouldn't even know we were there, and gone.
Yeah.
To replace a 200-foot sewer in a house like that, just to do the sewer, you're talking $10,000 to $20,000
sure. Plus
easily.
Landscaping.
Plus landscaping. Yeah. His landscaping would have cost $10,000 or $20,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's where it's a good benefit. And now back to after we put these in, we've been installing sewer liners for how long now? Probably 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But we did them with another guy.
Yep, we did them with another guy.
That
we would sub it out to him.
Yeah, we got contracted to do the plumbing part of a trailer park.
Yep.
And that was your home for like 5 years.
Yep.
And then this other guy.
We did all the drain lines in there. That was over 100 units.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but they picked at it over the years.
Yeah.
And then we got into it because it's a really good benefit for our customers and it's something we can offer. But it was... in this time, how many have we had to go back on as a callback? We had a problem.
As on the install?
After we're done an install.
Oh, after? 0. I don't think
I've never went back on one that either deteriorated.
Never.
Or had a sewer backup.
Nope.
Ever. Nope.
Never.
Not once.
Yeah, and it's so nice. You go all the way to
that says a lot right there. You have a product and a service that when installed properly, you don't ever have a backup. You're done.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So...
and the fact you can get into the road...
Yes, that's huge.
Is killer.
Huge. And there's different types of liners. So in Erie, we have a lot of 4-inch pipe going to 6-inch pipe.
Yep.
So
little flexi.
Little flexi. We call it flexi.
Yeah.
And what it'll do is it'll go into the 4-inch pipe just like this, but once it hits the 6-inch pipe, it'll expand to the outside of the big pipe.
And it's so smooth.
So smooth. I mean,
it'll go around 90s and everything.
Yep. It's a phenomenal product. And I mean, back in the day, it was always digging.
Yep.
And a lot more people would do the preventative maintenance because they're like, I don't want to dig up my yard. I got $20,000 in landscaping or concrete.
For sure.
We got ones that go under a driveway. Good Lord. You got concrete alone nowadays is very expensive. So it's a great cost saving product. Another one too, we did one at Gannon University.
Oh yeah.
And that was a really cool one because we did it in the basement. And
for the pool room.
It was for the pool room, and it fed.
It was the floor drains for around the pool deck. So all the pool water was getting into this old cast iron and corroded the whole bottom of the pipe. I mean, it was gone.
Gone.
So we went into the basement, went into the ceiling, found the piping, cut out a section, and blew a liner back towards the existing floor drains.
Yeah, and we stopped it like within a foot of that floor drain.
And they haven't called back.
Never called back.
Never
you're
called
right.
back.
Not once. Yeah. But
it saved them.
Do you remember the main reason though why he called
project, us? It was leaking at the wall, wasn't it?
It was leaking. It's a concrete poured wall.
Yeah.
And it was the cast iron pipe. The bottom of it was gone coming through the wall. And Jay, he's the master plumber down there. He's like freaking out. He's like, dude, this is bad. And
this liner probably saved them $50,000.
I mean,
it was all old mosaic tile.
At least, yeah, probably. I mean, saw cut in a pool room.
Yeah.
It was all mosaic tile. Digging it out, putting the new pipe in, you wouldn't even be able to match the tile up. That's where it's beneficial. Is you don't have to do any restoration.
The aesthetics is like
a big one now too. Is in Chicago. A lot of the old high rises, they're going on the rooftop and blowing them down. Stacks.
Yep.
And they're doing that.
They do toilet bends.
Toilet bends, so you don't have to open up all the walls in a whole high rise building. They'll go on the roof, blow it all the way down to the basement. And then
just reinstate everything.
And pull a toilet, and it's called reinstating. So talk about reinstating.
So if you this liner, we like to go from point A to point B one straight shot. But if there's another connection coming in, like a Y for a different, I don't know, bathroom group or whatever you got going on, we have this tool that was super expensive, but it you put these heads on it. And you send them down the side of the Y. Let's say we use that the side of the Y, and then it'll drill out the liner after it's cured, and then we sandpaper it and make it super smooth. And it's a nice benefit that you still can shoot the liner and then just reinstate a clean out or a Y fitting.
Another nickname for this entire industry is called trenchless technology.
Yeah.
is kind of a term people use. But it's great. Now, the only downfall inside of a home is if we have to go from like the back of the house to the front of the house, when you have so many connections.
Right.
Sometimes you have to bust up little spots, but
but the tool is it's like a saw on a cable. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yep. We ended up doing.
I'm glad we got into it.
Yeah.
We were subbing it out for a long time.
What's the hardest one you've ever done?
I just keep going back to that Solon double liner.
The one we did. Oh, yeah.
The storm sewer and the sanitary
Talk about that one. That was your job.
If you guys go on our Google page, there's a picture of it with a red tent and 2 drums.
Yeah.
That was like 8 or 9 feet deep, 2 drums going. One was a storm sewer, one was a sanitary sewer. We did that. We had 8 people
explain
there.
In Ohio the difference between those 2 sewers and what they are coming into the house.
So you have your sanitary sewer, that's for your kitchens, your bathrooms, your laundries, and then you have your storm sewer for your gutters and groundwater and your sump pump discharge.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
But they're both 6-inch pipes out there. They're huge. And man, I just remember we had 8 people. It was like, all right, go.
Yeah. You get it in the drum, put it in the hole.
Wetting out the next one.
It's called the wet out process. Is when you put the resin epoxy. Oh, everybody's sweating.
Go on our Google page.
Just order pizzas. We're not leaving.
Yeah, there's a picture of that double line.
Yeah, that was pretty great. We had both of our. We have 2 setups, one for Ohio, one for Pennsylvania. We had them both there, both going.
2 trailers,
8 guys going, 2 boilers going. It was fun.
The boilers cranking.
Yeah, and they run on diesel fuels.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's fun though, and once you get them in, you're done, and you can't. You're just like, it's so satisfaction, isn't it?
Yeah, we recorded.
You're like, oh, thank God, this went good.
Yeah.
Number 1, number 2 is like, this looks good.
Yeah. Oh, it looks great. It's so smooth once it's in there and it's cured.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely it's a good market for a solution for any type of pipes like that.
Yeah, and then you don't have to dig. Trenchless.
Yep. Padcast. Yep. But they also too, I think what we're gonna do is run have a little email with the special on-liners too.
Yeah, liners, or just general sewer cleaning.
General sewer cleaning.
Throw some.
Give you guys a little coupon for that. So. Well, thank you for watching. This was episode 2.
I'm Jeremy.
Ricky Reeves.
And
we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.